Corruption is a cancer, is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries of their rights, and also it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people.
Again, I'm still here on the project, building capacity around my mouth, but I got something to back it up. What do you think? Let's discuss it.
Corruption is a cancer, is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries of their rights, and also it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people.
C'est autisme-ma, encore une autre fidèle qui l'Amérique n'a pas loupé nous. Quand il y a Sylvie, il y a quoi qui j'ai loupé presse. L'Amérique n'a pas loupé, t'as bien de moi avec moi au Ndé. En ce moment, on va battre au moins, on t'a dit, t'as mon mouillé, on s'est battu pour moi, il pleure. Abela lo kan yo. Ka go so aju lo. Hey. Awaye. Ati o lo a. Ìyàwó Abela lo kan yo. Níbi tó jọba yìí. Níbi tó yànba. Máa ti sì mọ̀ pé yo. Máa jẹ́ jíjí. Wọ́n pe jamais forcé o. Si tu connais. L'animateur Choco Noska Yacine de Toyebi. L'homme a tout fait pour Mivito. Aniche les deux.
Corruption is a cancer, is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries of their rights, and also it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people.
Good evening, folks. Samson to Liberian Radio. I want to welcome all of you. Please share this video as much as you can. Please share it to as many people as you can. Thank you for joining us tonight again. We say thank you. Safety, Lord Jesus. We want to thank you again for your blessing. We want to thank you for all that you do. We want to thank you for stepping in and diverting some serious issues in Liberia. My Lord, we ask that you take complete control of the situation. Come into the hearts of the family that are grieving tonight because of the situation in Cape Mount. My Lord, we ask that the people in Cape Mount, whatever that is going through some problem tonight, we ask that you come in and help them out. Give them peace. Give them peace. My Lord, we ask that you bless the Republic of Liberia. Bless the leadership of the Republic of Liberia. Whatever it is that is pinching our people to result to these kinds of protests, whatever it is, my Lord, please step in. Help us out. Give us wisdom to do what is right. And for those who are not with us tonight, because of whatever action I was taking, we ask, my God, that you take complete control. We all, as Liberians, are hurting tonight because something unfortunate happened to our own people. We ask, this is not what they voted for. This is not what they were participating, but you know what happened. You know why it happened. We're not going to question it. We just ask that you please come in and bring some peace in the situation, restore peace in the situation, restore calm in the situation. My Lord, help us. Straighten it up for us. We ask that you bless the leadership of the Republic of Liberia. We ask that you bless the host country, the United States of America. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay, folks, Samson told Liberia Public Radio. We're going to be on here tonight discussing a lot more issues than usual. So just bear with me here. What is happening is something that I think we all need to look at and see why is it happening like this. With people who believe certain Liberians are ill-treating other Liberians. And those are things that we need to talk about. So again, fellow Liberians, welcome to Liberia Public Radio. Conversation with Samson Toll sitting in this evening. Samson Toll, the liberal, is here as well. We ask that we all take a step back. Those of you from Grand Cape Mount County, we express our sympathy and our grief is with you as well tonight. We grieve strongly with you because this should not happen anywhere. It doesn't matter what government is in power. To have somebody die because of protesting on something they believe was doing wrong to them. And we ask that we all step back, take a deep breath, and listen to the leadership and listen to whatever investigation they said they're launching, and let's see how far we're going to go with it. Please, let us don't turn to anything or the tragedy that is already befalling us. So, my brothers and sisters from the Cape Mount region, we are with you. We sympathize. We are with you in spirit. And we say, please, our people say, you'll never mind. Let's see whether the government will take the action that is necessary to restore peace, true peace, and make sure those brothers and sisters find out why they were protesting. And if there's anything the government can do to make sure those things are minimized. Protest is part of governance. Protest is part of a country. Protest is part of the society. But it must be done. And those who are going to respond to the protest as well, they should understand that those who are protesting, they are just as Liberian as those who are going to be trying to quiet down the protest. Heavy hand in protest quietness, you're doing us no good. That would be my few comment on that this evening. But let's go on. So we heard today the bee mounting over there in Cape Mount has some serious issue, and the people was wondering. Myself, I was wondering why is that? So bee mounting is a mining company from Turkey. And this company has been in the news with Liberia and Liberian for a very long time. In fact, people have accused the bee mounting company of trying to poison the water and polluting the environment and things like that. And they accused the past government environmental agency, where they thought that the environmental agency were trying to cover it up. And so that story is out there as well. So these people are not people to say that they are the company. Somehow, I'm not too sure why it is the way they're doing business, but those are the kinds of stuff we're going to go in tonight and discuss. So just bear with us. We're trying to find our own 14 here as well. Okay, so why is it? We're trying to find our 14 here. Just bear with me here, please. So why is it that the bee mounting will now becomes an issue that somebody gonna die from? Okay. 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 So the bee mounting is in Liberia. So like I said, a Turkey mining company in Liberia. Okay, so they do mining, and Liberia is not the only place. They're all over the place here. They're all over. So, but the issue for me is the people who are responsible to okay, just give me a minute. I'm trying to get some stuff here. Okay. So anyhow, the company is in Western Liberia, specific, how do you call it, Cape Mount County. So they, and I'm trying to get this specific. I don't just want to open my mouth. I want to be specific in my pronouncement, to be honest with you. So, okay. Uh, they mine gold, iron ore, they dredge gold mining, iron ore, and what have you. But wait a minute. Yeah, man. Yeah, my man. Ah, he can't get tired fighting you. What? What one I lie again? Talking about, oh man, don't lie. Why I said that lie? Be mountain lion, like, bro. Papi, don't lie. I took care of you already. Too old to lie. What am I saying now that I'm lying? They begin. But anyway, we're here. So, but let me go on. So the B Mountain, like I stated, is in Liberia. So why am I not okay? It's in Liberia, okay. But the issue that I want to point out here, the issue that I want to talk about, is the mining. So when you do these mining concession stuff, Brangide was part of that. We have another company that was supposed to do business in Brangide, and the concession was sent to Grangidians in the diaspora. And me, as an engineer, were asked to be part of the committee to review that concession. And they, my part, whatever we have to do, whatever we think was good for our people, we made that recommendation, but we have no control over who says and what they do after that. That's the government. You only have one government at a time. So, but anyhow, let's go into this B Mountain. So, according to the story, the young people, but I'm not surprised, honor the most popular president, honor the most loved president we are. They claim Liberians were never going to be spectators in their own country. They believe in it, but those that were in charge, they decided that their interest was more important than Liberian. So Liberian, they become the most spectators in their own country. It's the same thing. So they said there's a guy that the B Mountain brought to work. He's a Liberian. He's supposed to seek the interest of Liberia, but he wasn't seeking the interest of Liberia. The people who get contract, and sometimes getting paid on time becomes issue. And so the Turkey company can even go to Turkey and bring people to pump gas into the truck. Why they couldn't use Liberian? Then what is the essence of bringing the investment in Liberia? If Liberian will not be impacted, then what are we doing? Why are we so wicked to ourselves? And so these people decided that, okay, we're going to make noise. We're going to protest, which is their right. Under the Constitution, it's their right to do that. It's also, we were told that the B Mountain had, and I think Mr. George, even George pointed that out yesterday, where they were employing armed forces of Liberia, members of the armed forces of Liberia, that are supposed to protect us during war. But instead, they became not only security, but that they were there to guide the property of this company. I'm not a lawyer. That's a job of a national armed forces of Liberia. What's wrong? Even if you want to use the Liberian adequate security apparatus, what's wrong with the police, which is the arms of the security forces that is much more will be closer to the community than it is with the army. But these are the corrupt behavior we keep talking about. And these things come back to hurt us, Liberians. Because the people from Turkey, their intent is to make money. They are not there to please you. They're there to invest, and the investor in Turkey, they want to have good dividend. They want profit. So these people come in, and some of these, we will suffer for a long time, my people. We're not going to get out of this thing right now. The people who are supposed to be at the forefront representing us, they put their interest before us. And so some of these people, they're taking kickback. So when you take kickback from this company, they will mistreat your people because they know they will come. We've been reading a lot here lately about a Chinese guy, who is pretty much, according to a story, that is running the Ministry of Lands and Mines as though he's the minister, because he does anything he wants to do. And according to the story, many of the ministers, they're on his payroll. If you're so broke, you're so poor, then you do not need to serve. To serve, you can be broke and still be a servant. A servant to serve the people. But instead, you use this opportunity. People employ you. The people of Republic of Liberia employ you. You use that opportunity and turn against them, as though they have voted against their own interest. What kind of business is this? When will we get out of this? When will we get out of this? Every year we sit down on this platform, it doesn't matter what kind of government you bring in. You can bring in government from town. The same thing, nothing have changed. President Baka cannot split himself. He employ you guys to help me implement the process, the policy, to help Liberia move some of them, to get them out of poverty. But you're not even doing that. And I'll be ridiculous a little bit. During President, and I'm not here for CDC, Yamanaka Court, and Mr. Tua, I let it wait. No, this is not about CDC. It's about our own behavior, Liberians' behavior towards one another. So we saw, y'all can go back and watch some of our videos 5 years, 6 years, or something ago. The former police director, go look it up. It's there. It's on video. He said during the protest, I think it was the first protest with a student from GWGC. He said the police that's supposed to come and be part of the guard to protect property and lives. He went where the people were gathering. He saw the other policemen putting guns. He said, "Why are you carrying that thing?" He said, but I protest. He said, "I protest. You come and carry a gun too? If you wear that gun, then you're not going." You see it? You see that? You're going to a place where the people are angry. And you, as a police officer, they will be throwing objects at you. and you go and carry a gun. If one of those rocks hit you, that first station, you come and shoot. You don't have the gun, you will run behind a person with stick and beat him. You're not going to kill him. Those who were there to allow the people to have live ammunition, those people must be held responsible. There's no question. We saw June 7 protests. The police were there. The only time they brought the water can when the people decided, read by the executive mansion, they're going to do coke out. People said, no, you want good coke out, go, you can carry the protest to the beach, or you carry it in a park and do a coke out. But you can't do coke out in front of the executive mansion. We can't, that's just not what it's going to be. So they brought the water can. That was the only time. But most of the protests under the former IG, police were not allowed to carry gun. If you agree to be part of the protest as a police officer, you're not going to carry gun. We heard what they talk about Gregory Coleman before. Only the highliner on this platform were people who were praising him. I never praised him. When I see, I'm not too sure what was his role and how responsible his role would be in connection to the shooting. So I'm not going to pass judgment now. But you cannot deal with Liberian with an iron fist. As a liberal, I just not comfortable with those kinds of behavior. No, we can't do that. We can't do that. We can't do that. They are Liberians. If they are protesting, there must be something. They must have legitimate reason according to them. Find out why. Have a conversation with them. Look what happened here the other day at LU. I turned that video off, so I never even watched it. What is this now? We said, oh, President, he's responsible for all the killing in Liberia. But here we are, less than 2 months into the government that we pray for, and somebody is being killed on a protest. And of course, it's going to go right to the doorstep of the president. He's the president. He's the chief. The buck stopped with him. So why are we? What is it? They be mounting themselves. They said they will do X in their papers. They said we will do this, we will do that. If you allow all in, we'll do X. They're not even doing those things. And the Liberians, those that are at the front, that's supposed to deal with the people on our behalf, they block us. Whether these people treat us bad or not, those people in the front, they don't care. They're getting their cut. What is it? When will we ever get out of this thing? What would it take? 1980 came. People died. People got shot on the beach because of corruption, they say. And we're still doing the same thing. So the question, we go for 14, 15 years while people died. And we're still repeating the same thing. So the question to me, I'm not going to be discouraged, because it's a country. It's a country. All of us, those of us that are here now, will leave the stage, and the young people will come. But the thing about it is that these young people themselves, especially those Michael, they are not ready to prepare their own life for the future. They want instant gratification. They want it now. They want it now. And that's why you see most of the people, they cut corners. Even in their academic life, many of them cut corners. They say they got degree. They really don't, because it's difficult to obtain these kinds of degrees. You have to go to school and sit down in a classroom or sit down behind your computer And they make and do a project, all kinds of stuff for you to get these higher degree. But some people just cut corners because we're not ready to sacrifice. Look at this country that we live in. You think all of these things that we're having right now, they just came overnight? No. People sacrifice. But here's the interesting thing. We have that same knowledge back home. Samson told here in California. They wait as we speak. They're waiting for me to deliver some plan. Then I make, the plan knowledge is in my head. I got to come up with it for them to build their bridge over there. Samson told. You think we can't do those kind of thing in Liberia? But you must have freedom. I'm free. Yeah, I go to work in the morning, 6 o'clock, because I don't like traffic. I don't want to be bothered with traffic. So I go in 6 o'clock in the morning, I leave 2:30. I'm done. 8 hours done. That's freedom. Can we do the same thing in Liberia? Right now, this few days, I think the many Liberians all over America have been experiencing this, I call it, internet problem. But there are people in this country. The camera that I will tell you one story. These are some of the things I'm talking about. That's my little son here. I will call his name. They call him Asa, young man, smart. He's the vice president of Grand Union Association right now. Very smart. Very, very smart. IT. He does programming. So about 4 or 5 years ago, he was involved with Liberia Public. We were the first, Isaac and myself, we were the first to do this program we're using now, that you can see me. He was able to program where I went live on LPR. At that time, they don't have no Facebook Live. They don't have StreamYard. They don't have all the other stuff that you can go live on. None. Isaac was the first. I swear to God. Isaac was the first. He made me to go live. He wrote that program. We put it on LPR. I went live. If I was telling him the other day, I said, Piki, if we were to push it, can you imagine how much money would I pay? But we didn't push it. Because other people thought it was a waste of time. So from there, OBS came up. So open source, OBS. Those of you that do programming and broadcasting, you know what it is. They call it OBS. So we gravitate towards OBS. We purchase it. It was easy to do. We don't have to fight with programming, changing numbers. As it was working, young man with his young wife, he doesn't have the time to go. But that's the difference between these people and us. Now, I knew that was something we could have developed, but I didn't know that if I were to invest in Isaac and pour money into Isaac, that we would have made millions. If I knew that this was going to be this much, I would have convinced other Liberians that got money to join us. Let the Peking develop this program and we'll make money. We didn't do that. We went only 1 or 2 times on air. In fact, the person who was with us that I believe was Tabon Collins. From there, we gravitated to OBS. Now, if Isaac and I have pushed that and continue, look, they read about StreamYard. 2 or 3 young people put themselves together. They're still developing. But the point that I'm making is this. As Liberian, we have the knowledge base. But all the young people in Monrovia are just walking the street. You go look at the other video about the new mayor of Monrovia touring the place today, touring the city, the Monrovia City Corporation headquarters today. What a disgrace. When will we get out of it? Hey, I don't care. I'll listen. So, well, you the CEO. You the CEO. You push me. Did you say, Mr. To, saying you can afford what we asked you to your developer? You say that one. Then you say, I can't listen. I can't listen. But hey, go now. By this time we wrap in millionaire. Total grand Boston district millionaire. That would be LPR. I say, you know what can I say? Because we actually have the knowledge. Even now, if you go on LPR, www.Liberia Public Radio, there's a radio station right now. Radio, article music are playing. I say program that for us. He programmed free of charge. He's still doing the thing for us. The young man is just a brilliant young man. Brilliant young man. I can, what can they use him from Liberia? What they can even call him? We're not ready. We're not going anywhere. So for me, I will sit down here and talk my tabata. But the sad thing, on a very serious note, we have these young people that are so smart, intelligent, but they are not given the opportunity to buy home. So they work here. They make the living. Oh, Alfonso, leave me alone, man. That 10 years ago, business, you must say, I come to apply, but I want to, I forget it. We broke now. Let's just forget it. That ship is gone. But you know this, but anyway, let's forget it. But anyhow, so on a very serious note, they said, according to the story, the people over there, the one, excuse me, guys. That's the boss. She just checking to see if her son was home from school and say, yeah. But anyway, let's go back. So when these young people, when the man was over there today, the mayor said, I said, what your job? He said, what did he say? He said, a cowboy. Yeah, I'm laughing, but tears are sitting in my eyes. He's not anything more than 20-year-old. He said he cowboy. When you check his background, most likely somebody, either pa, grandpa, somebody used to be cowboy. For him, cowboy is the best thing. So what is it? The guy said, but what do you do, cowboy? He said, oh, we just take the thing and dump it in there. So we're cowboy. And the guy was a little bit upset, the mayor. He said, we got over 1,800 employees. And we can't clean our own place. And he said, the place must be clean. So what was Jefferson County doing over there? And they show all the dirt today. In their compound, not even Monroe. I said in the compound where Jefferson County was leading. The place was filthy. Organization. Yeah. Right now, when I used to be in construction, you go to after a certain time, you take your car to the garage. We don't go outside. They have our own garage. So they have partition. Okay, this side, this car that here, strictly for tire. here, this car that here to change oil. Nothing. They don't do tire, they don't do engine, they just change oil. This other group are there to replace parts. They don't do anything, no oil, no tire, just replace parts. This other group, they're there to just make sure that the car, as they come along, they test it for safety. That's their job. That's their job. But for us, you go into Montreal City Corporation compound, packed with all kinds of junk. Yes, as I was looking at that today, I said, hey, I wish I was the mayor. Because I would show them that me, Samson too, I would use some of those parts to get some of those trucks started. You think I get to come play around? I'm a full-blown mechanic. Y'all not see my work? Yeah, I mean, and not like I'm boasting. You people have seen my work. Full-blown mechanic. I fix my own car, put engine in my own car. Well, you think I here to play? The only thing is I don't know the name of those different parts. So who cares? I just goes there and say, you know, they want to happen to my car. He said, oh, okay, let's look at the board. They find a name, they give it to me, I can't put it on. So, but you people have seen my work. I've already posted my mechanic job. In fact, I call myself the rescue mechanic. But on a very serious note, why will you have those kinds of stuff for 1,800 people? For goodness sake, 1,800 people employed, and they can't even clean their own yard. Why are we so wicked to ourselves? Why are we so wicked to ourselves? The Bee Mountain Company, they are people from Turkey. Their job is to make money. You get rich and say you're taking company to Turkey and see how much they will tell you who need to be employed in your. You think you're coming to go to Turkey from Liberia and say you become rich man and you go open company and then you can't bring a bunch of Liberian behind you? They will not do it. They will not like you will only bring people from Liberia who are specialized in palm wine drinking. Because if you take somebody over there who can drink palm wine, Turkey people can drink palm wine, so that's a specialty. So you can take that person, they'll say, yeah, we don't drink palm wine, they want help, they make and do it. But you will not take somebody who will sweep. No, they will bring people to sweep, and you pay them. But for us, as soon as you see this, I told you guys before, these college graduates from Monrovia, whatever they call themselves, these South people, as soon as they're sophisticated, though, don't get me wrong, they know, but as soon as they get job, they start blocking everybody else's way so they can be loved by the white people. Or white men like, oh man, my body. Instead of, you know, open up. So we're so naive in our greed. Because of our greed, we're so blinded by that greed mentality. Okay, let's take for example, look at Monrovia right now. Look at Monrovia right now. How many septic tanks in Monrovia? Just in the city of Monrovia, thousands. How many times those septic tanks have ever been cleaned? Most likely, none. So what do they do when they get full? Because they own the land, they build another one. They abandon this one. Here's the thing here. Here's the thing here I want you to understand. It might sound glory, nasty, but that caca in that septic tank, if you're able to take the caca out and find way to dry it, the best fertilizer you will ever find. And you mix those things up with some grass and go pull it on your farm. Your banana, your plantain, your cocoa, they will grow so fast. They will be happy. Everybody, they lay themselves, their leaves will be laid towards you. Let me bring Sissy in. Go, Every day you just looking more and more like some. You're traveling to Mali, small.
I was just studying some women. I see you are talking about
I tell you, every day you can't wear glasses without you passing to Mali, small. Begin. Good evening.
How are you doing, Libro?
Not bad. I'm waiting for my beginner to show up.
Yeah,
you show up.
you must be looking in the back.
Yeah. I'm watching in the back.
Now you looking.
Yeah. It was job. I see no picture for even joy you. It began to scare me last time.
You can't have better than cleaner. Oh,
I tell you.
hey, saying Blanco, you're fine.
I hope it was joy. But I see no picture. It was joy you. I see your picture you.
Is this
Anyway,
the beginning? Is this Sabuno case be there?
Yeah. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, no,
yeah, man. Say, man. You know, it's difficult, especially for people like me. I've seen more things in Liberia. Mr. George gone again, and still nothing being improved. Nothing. We say we'll get there. Oh, we'll get there. Yeah. But one step, two steps behind. Because of greed of these people. They don't see that if they are not greedy, you will still make money. What to say, all the stolen money that you get, 2 or 3 of you put together and form a company. Mr. George is here. He's not ready yet. Okay, let me bring him. Okay, that company, you start supplying other material to the country. You will still make money. But they take the money and put it in European bank. And then in Europe, they take that money and loan it out to their people to go make farm. They take that money and loan it out to the company, and that same company come to Liberia and build something there, and then they take the money back again. And we don't realize this. So that's just been my frustration this evening. Sensei, thank you for joining. Mr. George, thank you for joining as well. Sensei, what's on your plate?
I mean, what you're saying makes a lot of sense, and but my only little concern would be if you had. Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
You're in the background noise. But if you had a chance to invest your 401k, your retirement, in Liberia or here in the U.S., what would you pick?
Yeah, right here.
There you go. So when you talk about people who take their money to Europe and the European banks then lend them to Liberia or African countries, it's because I know my money is secure.
If I don't know what that noise coming from though.
Yeah, I don't know either. I think I gotta log on and come back home. My money here, I deposited in the bank, FDIC insured. So if you give it to Africa, it doesn't come back. Let's take my money here. If I put money in LPR or something in Liberia, and that means I can get money that they do with Eddie Johnson said he's going to money. What becomes of that?
Right.
So let me try to get up. I'm hearing the sound. And come back in.
Okay. All right. Okay, Mr. Josh.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I was just saying here, some 5 or 6 years ago, it's my son. I call him. I say, who is the vice president for Graduate Association? He's not just an IT, but he's a programmer. So he programmed the same kind of thing we're doing now. He programmed it where we were able to plug our camera in, and I went live before they started going live on Facebook. Before Facebook allowed people to go live. Before at that time, no string, yeah, nothing. And the young man was able to program that. We went 2 or 3 times, and then we saw the OBS, which was already no headache, nothing. We just decided we're going to go with. And I was just saying, if we were to push, because the young man was he said he's good. If we were to push, maybe who knows, by now we're rich. But anyhow, what's on your plate, Mr. George?
Sister, how you doing?
Oh, you doing, Pat Josh?
One of on my plate is what is going on in Kidmont.
Yeah.
And that has drawn my attention. Then another thing, the New York City mayor today taking a tour of the corporation. You know, I always say this thing, and people say maybe I'll be a little bit sarcastic or what have you. When these people wear the $500,000 suits, they ride a $60,000, $70,000 car, and you go see where they sit. You don't want to drink water. It's just a shame.
Yeah.
How can a mayor sit in that kind of building? Look at the amount of cars, trucks that they have that are not functioning. Place is filthy. But moreover that, you got 1,500 people employed by the City Corporation of Monrovia.
1,800.
1,800. How big is that city to have that number of persons? Okay, we want to find something for everybody. But with that kind of number, and the city filthy, dirty, so then why are you having all those people for? If you have them and the city is clean, that's fine. But you have them, the city is filthy. So what is the reason that you have those people? I know people say, oh, some of you sound too mean because you're sitting in America. But these corporations are supposed to contribute to the national budget. But it's the other way around. The national budget got to feed these corporations, subsidizing them to pay payroll, whereby they're supposed to be contributing towards the national cake. So the question is, how can we get from already kind of way? And when we tell them, you probably can't say you're consecutive. No. But you have 4 or 5% somewhere not doing anything. It's a burden on the government. It cripple other people. Because the money that's supposed to go for some development, it has to go to the people and who are not functional. If people are functional, I won't mind. More people put people there, oh, because we are parties and got to please these people. It's just wrong. Now we're seeing what it looked like. 1,800 people, Monrovia City Corporation. How big is that city to have that kind of number? So, and the next thing I want to do is this thing going on in Kidmont. This thing has been breeding for a very long time. And I think we have to now start changing the way we do things in Liberia drastically. Either they come, they don't come, and we'll suffer. But they come, they can't come, then they may have to suffer more, but benefiting from us. And this is what has been happening in Liberia. And all these things, sometimes it just have time that it will start popping, that people got to start changing rapidly. When you listen to those people, 10 years, the Turkish people taking that kind of amount of gold, they cannot build a single hospital for the people. And they say within 10 years, they should have built a hospital. 10 years now, they are not being able to build a single hospital. And the people see you taking the minerals. And because these people had an experience of bombing hills and other parts of Liberia, they are saying this is a thing that will happen to us. At the end of the day, when people leave, would not be able to show anything that would benefit from the resources we took from there. And to this thing here, Honorable Buckeye, this committees, You have to be on top of things now. We want to see results.
Yeah, Mr. George. Mr. George, it says money over you.
No.
It says money over you.
No. Because when the AFL wives got into the street, I was one of the who said it was wrong. But what I'm hearing from the senator, that the AFL that were deployed there, they were paid by the mining company to protect the property. So it means that General Johnson, that report must tell us
Okay.
who
Let me go to
get a kickback.
Okay. Thank you. Say you were saying
And my heart
something
go to somebody.
before.
Let me say this: my heart go to the young man. I think I was killed.
Yeah.
My sympathy to the people.
Thank you, Mr. George. Say you want to continue your statement?
Talking about investment priorities, and you have to have security for folks to want to invest in the country. I mean, this is not unique to Liberia. If I don't just take my money in the morning and get up and look at my retirement money and my 401k and say, oh, I'm going to take risk and put in this company that I know nothing about, I might go under, right? I had just gotten off the hump during the credit default swap. Remember that crisis when Obama was coming to power where everybody was losing money?
2008, yeah. When
yeah. I lost about almost 70% of what I had saved at the time, because we were heavily invested in GM and in Coca-Cola and all those places, and we lost a lot of money. That was a fact back then. You know how they had to buy those clunkers and all the companies.
You invested in the Coca-Cola and then make money?
I did. Coca-Cola was, because at the time, Coca-Cola was buying Minute Maid, they were buying Dasani, they were acquiring all these other places, and they were really a good stock. But before the mortgage crisis, and they affected a lot of other entities. The point I'm trying to make here is that if you don't trust that there will be a return on your investment, your principal, why would I want to do that? We've been here and seen NGOs coming out and shaming a government for taking money that belongs to non-governmental organizations.
Right.
We saw somebody go to jail and the person's bank account got empty. So which bank are trusting if the bank will allow somebody to take somebody's money without a court order? Which bank now going to put my money in to go invest in Liberia? I want to fly. I cannot do it. I can't lie to anybody. I love my country, but I can't do that. Look, on the issue that Pat George raised, I think there's one of the reasons we have to look at not just the military, the army, but the police, because there was a report at one point in time where police officers are being assigned to private entities, which happens a lot even in America here, so don't get me wrong. And those private companies pay for security. The problem is there is no accountability on that. And I imagine that is what's happening with the military when they guide those other installations. There's nothing wrong with that, but it has to be transparency and has to be accountability. And I think that's the one piece that has been missing for a long time. And if this administration is truly going to be in the business, and again, to date, I have no data to not trust that they're in the business of trying to change things. I think those are some of the things they have to look at. Naming the problem is one thing. Telling us how you're going to change that or fix that problem is the other thing. So they've been talking about ghost lists and ghost names on government payrolls and the padding of government payrolls. Apparently, as the great economist, the sanction graph maker was showing all those graphs, and they were harmonizing people's salary. They were padding on government payroll, which tells you these people didn't even know basic arithmetic. So now for me I'm thinking, what is the reason for those, like you're talking 1,800 folks at MCC? Are they keeping people in the system that should have retired? And maybe these people need to take over their role, and maybe those people are afraid to retire because retirement benefits in Liberia usually are flat. It's just like Zanzakawakawate, oh no, sorry. And like MCSS website and data availability are flat. They're empty, right? So for me, I think one of the things that has to be done is to tackle the retirement process. Because there are a lot of older people in the workforce that need to be retired but cannot retire because they know when they retire they won't get their benefits. So I stay on the payroll and can only get my benefits. So I think they need to look at that, not just taking people off that are, that were brought in by the CDC, but looking at there are people that need to be retired and taking them off and allowing younger people to come into the workforce. And defining what their term of references are. Look, you can't have 1,800 people employed by the city of Monrovia in that small city. What are they doing? What are they doing? And before somebody asks me here, yes, I serve on city on an advisory here for my city, and I know we don't even have close to that much people employed by my city. And so, if these people are they there for sanitation? Are they there for code enforcement? How is MCC budget generated? Because at some point in time, we have to allow these people to operate in deficit that forces them to cut in places. But every time they come, they get a cassava leave, they come, we need money, you get money to the city government, they come, we need money, you get money to MCSS, they show nothing for it, they come, we need money, they just come with their hand looking at cassava leave every time, then accountability is out the window. And that's the reason you find people will keep padding on and padding on and padding on. So for me, I really hope that the government, as it continues to form itself and as it continues to put its feet down, will not only name the issues, but will start to tell us what are some of the solutions that they are taking on to these issues. Because believe you me, this is going to be a tough thing. Once you've hired somebody, now lay them off. It's tough. And a lot of these people, because they got hired, assume responsibilities of their family members. And so when you cut that one line, you're taking food from many people more down the road. So this is going to require a really statesman and a really technical solution. And I'm waiting to see what they come up with, because just saying we remove everybody CDC on a budget would not be right. I would not support it. There has to be a process. There has to be a system, and also take into account the humanity of it. If you just fire people, it has ripple effect down the line, with other people who have been benefiting from these folks that have been employed.
So, Sese, I'm going to tell you this here as well. I'm not going to call name, but some 2 years ago, a senator from Liberia visited us here. And before he came, we had a group over not too far from here, about an hour and a half drive. And it's NGO, but here in the United States. What they do is that they go around some of the $1 million building, they will put a solar panel on top of the roof, and then after maybe one month or so, they say, "Oh, I don't like that," But then they give it to these people to give it out to poor community, and they have a huge consignment that goes to Namibia most of the time. So we were able to contact them, my brother and I, and they were selling some of these huge panel for like maybe $50, $20, $30 or so. The only thing they will not let you buy is batteries. So anyhow, this senator came and I told him about it. He said, "Oh yeah, I'd love to." So I took him over there. We got there. You got to show that your country or whatever it is that person needs. Then they can go to their board to say these people are people we can help. So we were able to show the senator brochure and stuff like that. So they accepted it. So the senator told them he wanted to get a solar panel, $80,000 worth of solar panels. Solar panel that each of the panel the guy was selling to us for $25, $50, $30, $35, something like that. But he said he wanted to get $80,000 worth. So the guy said, "If that's the case, I will take you directly to the brand new one. We're not even going to give you the used one, because we will make sure that we get the brand new from the factory. But this is what I'm going to do for you. Instead of $80,000, I was right in the room. He said, instead of $80,000, I'll let you pay $30,000, and we'll still give you the $80,000 worth. So he said, okay. He said, okay. When I go, I'll contact, and then we'll start the business. The man said, okay, I'm gonna start calling my board, and they called first. He called the first two board members, because they know about Liberia and how Liberia need all kinds of stuff. So there was a good selling point for their board and their community. So they came, quite two of that. They came, they talked with the senator, everything was fine. The senator left from here, never heard from him again. So the senator, when he never talked to us, so when I got ready, I wanted to go home last year or year before last, I wanted to buy 2 more setup. The guy said, no, I'm not even gonna sell you 1, let alone 2.
Yeah, because
he said, you brought somebody here and you made me to talk to my boy and everything, and the person can't come back. I'm not gonna sell it to you. So just about maybe a month or so ago, we were able to convince him to take us back. So we're now back into this guy where we can buy 1 or 2 solar panels, because we already shipped 4 already. We just buy a little $25, $30, and they're good. They're good, But the point here is, if a senator have this kinds of opportunity and cannot go back home to recruit other senators and say, I can't do this by myself. Can you imagine if they were to spend $30,000 and they give them brand new solar panel for that were costing $80,000, and that's a discount anyway. They were going to supply the batteries. They were going to supply all the trucks.
In our car for them to ride or coming by.
I agree. But those are the kinds of people we're dealing with, sister. So that country, I don't know, for some reason, there are few people in there that are willing to help to make that country move forward. So what happened to B Mountain is very sad. But the very same people that are in the front that's supposed to represent the interest of the Liberian people are the people that are cutting deals behind the Liberian people back. So it's like they're making us Liberian to feel like we voted for them, but then it's our own interest we were voting against. And Liberians are getting wiser. If you listen to that lady today on Spoon, Liberians are getting wiser. They're not going to put up with that kind of foolishness for very long. It's just a matter of time.
But yes, yes, the
Go ahead,
interesting.
Mr. Josh.
Yes, the interesting thing. I listen to one. Who are leading the people? Say one of the representatives leading the people. Now, there's no problem with you identifying with your people. But what I get from that woman, they vandalized a school. Vandalized a school. Damaged the police station. The question that came to mind, okay, if you are a representative there with your people, that is very understandable. But why would you allow those people to break a school? You know how much harm they bring to the very community? I tell our people, that's right to demonstrate is, I get it. But leave something that will benefit you or benefiting your school. You know how the country is challenged. You go and destroy a school that has nothing to do with what the community is doing. That's something that's supposed to benefit your children.
That their brothers and sisters are going.
Yes, your children are going there. Look, our people, we have to learn how to do things differently. You can take your placard and go and stand from the post office all day, sunshine, rain, you want to be there, that you're right. But do not damage the thing that benefiting directly. School buildings. Now, the school is damaged. Maybe government will come in, yeah, we'll start out, they will get a little thing, but the money now to fix that school. The time, even when the money comes, but how long will it take? You see the harm now you have caused. So I just want to tell our people, demonstrating is good. It is your right. But in the process, do not damage the road, do not damage hospital, do not damage schools. Because at the end of the day, you need these things. And our government is challenged. We don't have money like other countries like this. Oh, they break it, it can't, we'll fix it next week. No. Someone that you break it will not come back there again at the end. So I just warn our people, let us be a little bit cautious. And if any government official, you with your people, try to talk to them. Do not damage the property these things that belong to government, to you, not the government, but to you. Because if you destroy it in the midst, you're going to suffer tomorrow. So I just want to tell our people, I'm sorry that someone has lost their life, but we have to be careful, my people. It's a long, old age problem. We can put pressure to have things change gradually, but we should not engage in things to start damaging property that will benefit our children. For me, that part is not right. We have to do things differently. We cannot continue to go down the path. Yeah, we want to demonstrate. I can tell my one plug, I go stand on the road, my thing. People driving their car.
You guys from Georgia, you guys are known for that. So
no, but these are problems we know the country is not challenged. So we have to be careful. And what Sister was saying, yes, I get it, Sister. I mean, we don't want people to just go and sack everybody because they were employed by one government or this. It's not right. But I think what these people will be going to the they should start thinking differently. How?
But Mr. George, if you watch that video, the guy from I don't mean to interrupt, the guy from the mayor, the new mayor, if you watch that video, when he asked that young man, you could see from his face that, my goodness, how when you fire this person, where would they go to get job? So you could tell that he's going to keep them. He's not going to fire them.
Yeah.
But they will produce.
And you see, Mr. Toll, these are some things we talk about. I cannot be talking to someone. You know, sometimes culture is good, but culture is bad. You know, yeah, you cannot be talking to someone and bang your head down. You can't do it yet. You have to look into that person's face straight and answer them.
But that's considered rude in some culture, though. So we can't take.
Yeah. But I mean, we are here now. Yeah, but
No,
you know,
culture, they're not better than my
Asian
culture.
culture that's rude. So
Yeah, but you know, yeah, you can't be. But so when I saw the guy, when the man asked him, "What is your function here?"
Yeah.
And I could see him trying to fight. He don't want to look into the man's face directly. I said, "Hey, man." He tried to explain that other people got to try to handle. They said no. He did. One of the mechanic, the chief mechanic.
No, the mechanic. Besides that, there's a cowboy.
Yeah, cowboy. He asked the guy. Said the guy cannot even tell the man. So the guy said, "You cowboy here, but what is your function here?"
the conductor with the mechanic.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, it's just sad.
I think though.
You could see the guy that Mr. Toll was saying that, oh Lord, I know I'm going, my job going now. That's just what in him now.
I think instead of firing those people, they can be repurposed.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I think that's what you do. Repurpose the general
politician repurpose.
Yeah.
Hey, why you can say they will find something new for them? You come into repurpose.
Yeah. No. You know, their whole.
When you've been around American politics for a long time, you learn.
Yeah, repurpose. Yeah. When you want to say it, you say I will repurpose it. You see,
but I gotta.
But the guy, you know, the guy was so funny. The guy saw someone wearing slipper, and he said, "Why are you wearing slipper?" So he said, "But
in a mechanic shop."
You know, mechanic said, "You know the safety concern."
Yeah, man. I make money to buy steel toe boots. You know how much steel toe boots cost? Look, I was in a budget meeting because the school district has to find $144 million to balance our budget. So we gotta be repurposing some of our staff and employees.
Yeah.
So that's what that whole thing just stuck in my brain. I came with. But I think if the state government really rethinks what is the essence of city government. And if the state government is going to be to an extent independent or autonomous when it comes to funding, where they're raising their own, they're raising maybe 75% of their operational cost. If the government has the expectation of them, then these 1,800 people, I argue, are not even enough. Because then you can actually recruit more people if you know how you're going to use these people to if it's sanitation and people are paying for sanitation, if it's city ordinances and code enforcement, you don't have to fire these people. You can use these people to raise more money for the city. But again, the idea is, are they innovative? Because we know that my last uncle that was there was not innovative enough. He just had to stay there and dress like Mabudu Sissoko and shout all day. So we need people that will be innovative to make sure that we're not laying these people off. Because when you lay them off in a country where government is the highest employer, where do they go?
Yeah.
So then you just increase the unemployment rate, you increase the poverty index, and as you fire one person, again, like I said, there's a ripple effect.
It has a domino effect, you know.
Right. So I would really hope that this is not done on party lines.
You know,
everybody here for CDC brought you, so you go. They should not do that. Think about it. Those that have aged out, can we respectfully retire them with packages? And then those are in. How can we ensure that we are actually utilizing the manpower to optimum to benefit the city government and the citizens of the city?
Sese, I think one of the things, George, we are government, just like Donald Trump government, allow many people to truly see the functioning responsibility of a government.
Yep, the importance.
I think George Weah and his people, the way they operate this government, allow people to see inside. I know they were not good, they were inept, but you can look at the city corporation of. If it was the old time, that man was not going to do that.
I'll call you off though. When they show, because I watched that tour for a little bit in the short time I had between when I was working. They show the shop, the motor pool.
Yeah.
There's no roof.
Yeah. No.
And now what the guy talking about? The whole place.
So rainy season, how do they repair city vehicles and stuff? How do people work when it's rainy? You know, that is a problem. That is a serious problem. And I think, and again, like I said, I know my brother.
I don't need to cut you. If what you just stated, do you really need Zing anyhow? Call the people up in the country. Go from counter to counter. You want touch. Let's put a touch roof over there in Monrovia.
But look, you know, I know our brothers and sisters who were part of this field experiment in the leadership of our country called the CDC. They hate when you call their name. But let me tell you something, and I know y'all get tired of writing underneath here. I am an analyst. In order for me to analyze stuff, I got to compare to something. If I say you're doing better, I got to show where you came from. If I say we are rescuing, I got to show what it was that you're rescuing from. There has to be a baseline. When you say my child doing better in school, you're saying you're reflecting on some time that there was a baseline. So every time we talk about this government, hold them accountable, we got to look at where they're coming from and look at if they're repeating the same mistakes and call them out and see if they're making progress or they're going backward and call them out for it. So y'all get tired hearing me call CDC. CDC was a government, and sadly, it was a necessary evil, like Mr. Tu just said, because it was meant to just like when COVID came, right? Those of us that have been in public education for a long time have been talking about the inequities in education across racial lines in America and across economic potential in America. And for a long time, people pay lip service to it. And then, boom, COVID came. And now the system, everybody had to keep their children home, rich or poor, had to keep their children home. And now the rich started to see the things that we have been talking about. And then what happened? The American government could not find $1 billion to fund special education. We find over $18 billion to let us stay home and work from home to pay us. Right? Yeah. And so this is because they're lifted, and because of COVID, there's been a lot of changes, systemic, administrative
disparity in healthcare, disparity
across everything. Yeah. There's been massive change, right? And I think there's the same thing. George Weah government was the COVID to Liberia system. So now we see a lot of people are seeing what most people have been talking about. And gone are the days where people just allow people to do things and say, oh, maybe leave it. Like some Americans say, oh, maybe leave it. They can no longer leave it. We can no longer leave it because our eyes, a lot of people's eyes have been opened. It's no longer just the elite that are talking about it. It is even the poor people that are seeing it and now they understand what government is supposed to do and what government is not supposed to do. So you get tired calling money on it.
Go ahead, Mr. Josh.
No, they can call us. They say, we, as you always say, we stay right that we face our country, but some other way. We stay here. We stay here. That country will change because we cannot go back again to do the same old thing and say, "Oh yeah, that law and gospel is over."
But Mr. Josh, you're right. But it's going to take committed people. You have some people. The sad thing is,
CSS and I'm leaving there until they can change. Hey, we got to start somewhere.
Mr. Toe,
which is good. But what I'm saying is, your point, both of you, the points are correct, and we need to make sure things change. But those who have the opportunity to get close to the power, they are not doing anything.
They will do it.
Anthony Cassidy was here on the show the last time.
Mm-hmm.
Saying some of the things he would do. And he was at a press conference today. I didn't hear you saying when. Maybe I missed it.
No, but maybe then I played to talk.
No, but what was he there for?
Is he confirmed yet? Because most of the people are afraid to talk until they are confirmed.
Yeah, I think he's confirmed.
He's confirmed, but
okay.
That was not his. You are not responsible.
But besides that, if it is not, so what is he there for? Table dressing?
Samson told. That's your friend. You interview him here. If you're scared to call his name, then don't come ask me.
But by George, all the men friend can whatever for him.
Yeah.
Because I won't when he come on the show no more.
But when they get a job, then they must say we're good friends.
Yeah.
But as soon as they get a job, if they're gone.
Kofa run away from him. Your American guy run away from him. Look. Here's the thing here. The more we call these people up, it will compel people to do something right. Because, the popular humiliation that this thing does to people. Because when we call your name, when you go somewhere, they say, oh, and I made already talking about him. Yeah, that he there. So these people now, ain't saw the news that they are carrying people on a tour. Ain't see that someone that carrying people on a tour to see the places. Before, who cares? They just want to tell the offer car to go. Popular people eyes are on these people now. So the little one they will do it. The next person will push it. But if I always say this, the moment will remain silent, then these people they have won the battle for corruption. They will do worse things.
And this is what I keep saying, Mr. Josh. Stanton Witherspoon trouble. If they take him away for 1 year, the people that are going to be on there, they do not have what he has. And if he's away from that station for one year, those people will put President Baka in a bubble that by the time he comes back, his access to President Baka will be limited. There's no question.
Let me tell you this.
And this is the fear that I have.
No, let me tell you this.
And this is what I think is going to because even though I don't agree with many of the things, but he brings out things that people are doing behind closed door. And because the other people leak these things out to him.
Samson.
And they're not going to do it to other people, which one come.
Samson, let me tell you. You see the box we're sitting in here, it's because we're sitting in a small box. But if we had a phone, when you can get 2 to 3 radio stations, people will be calling you. They'll give you stories. It's not market.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
The people will start calling you. And this is why it's happening with Samson. Because he started his network the way he got thousands of Liberians listening to him. So people will get and say, you know what happened? I will call him, my man, he ain't got to pay for it. They say, my man, we'll give it to you. Because this people will not talk, give it to people, he will talk. And this is why it's happening. It's happening all around. So what he's doing there is because he laid his groundwork and he has a network. So people now flooding him with information that they fear that they can't put all that. That's all that now people are using. That's all that.
So let me go ahead and open the line.
And this is what will happen. But the only thing I always caution him, some of the intro he'll do, gotta be a little bit careful.
Huh?
Some of his intro, he gotta be a little bit careful. Because
Yeah,
our country is not yet equipped to that extent. Like when I listened to today, when he talked about, he said he was going after the government, that the government is now proactive on the issue in Kidmore. But then when I listened to the senator, she said 3 weeks ago, we started approaching these people. We have been engaging them. That we are taking seizure of the matter to investigate, to find out what is happening. But another group came and started on them, and they met them, they assured them. But only when they were halfway, caulking that hell I break loose. So you have to be careful when you're putting this thing out there. And I was telling someone today, I said, we were growing up, I think there's one, our person, I think they said she used to work for EAWA or EFDC. She used to do the pellet announcement. Since when we were growing up, my uncle and that woman, they used to glue to, they used to call, I think they heard name, they used to put that one in. You know, put that one is a voice, a boy that got a very fine voice. And when I used to say, when I would make a announcement on the radio, Mr. Toe, I don't care what you tell the people, they will say that truth. The one that heard it when I was mouth. That truth. And today that thing still exists.
Yeah, hold on. Let Mr. Judge finish. We'll come to
when you make so many announcements, in second quarter, the people believe you. They believe it. I don't care what you thought they will say. That man talking that A. So one of the things, Radio Kigali got to be a little bit careful with some of these pronouncements when they're talking. Radio Kigali, they got to be careful.
All right, let me take this caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
I'm brokeable.
Good. Good evening, Mr. Toll.
Thank you.
And let me say good evening to George and to my friend and brother, Mr. Sisi, and to your viewers and listeners.
Thank you.
I will pick. There are a few things you said that caught my attention. One, you said that you will not call the name of that representative concerning the solar panel issue.
Right.
Which, of course, I disagree with you. Because if we can call the names of these people, it will help their constituents or their constituency to see the lack of innovation in them. And the reason why I say so is this, Mr. Toll. A few years ago, when I used to live in Albany, Georgia, Dr. Adaman said he gave me a 40-folder container filled with textbooks and computer. And a particular senator, a representative, Chie from River G, I called him and said, look, I got something good, but I can't ship the thing. But if you can just get in touch with me, you can pick up this container. It's filled with textbooks, computer, and cheers. It can go to River G, and you can open a mini library there. Part two, that thing sat down in Georgia. Every time Dr. Sali will call me and say, my man, people behind me, they won't take this single. You got people to take it? I say, yes, sir. Every time. At the end of the day, it ended in South Africa. To a few group of students that were at the Albany University, they took those things. That representative never called me back. I give you one typical example again. The 50th scholarship in a city called Hampton here in Minnesota, and 5 fire truck. We had that opportunity again. I contacted a few representatives, then the information minister at the time, Clay Tusier, who contacted the justice minister. The justice minister said, Mr. Cummings will do everything. The Kesselly, your good friend, they called me from the current president office, Mr. Cummings, you sure you can pull this? I said, all the government of Liberia need to do is to spend $60,000. Mr. Toll, the 5 fire trucks and the ambulance never went to Liberia. The 50 scholarship went in limbo. That's how the lack of innovation we have in our leaders in the country. So when you say you will not call their name, I was just sitting here laughing because that's how these guys operate. They come out here, whether they are your king's men, they sit on one of those small mini conference call and they said they met with their constituents. They did the same thing with the TRC report. When the report was given to them, all of them, the legislators at the time, lied that they went to their constituency. I took few lawmakers on who were part of that committee, never went to their constituency to explain what was enshrined in the TRC report. Lack of innovation. So, Mr. Toll, when we call their names, it serves as a catalyst to speed up some things. It will change the prevailing situation in our country. If we don't do so, these people will always come and they will go back only with things that will benefit themselves. One of your kingsmen is sitting senator, Penner, came to America, wanted to open something in his country. He contacted me and I said, look, big brother, call me back. Let's talk about it. I can help you in so many ways to organize a sister city relationship with Mohair, Minnesota, and you can benefit from it. He never called back. The former city mayor, Jefferson Kochi, the minister of state at the time, the one who just left from there, Bishop Blambo. We said Blambo, call him. Jefferson Kochi was standing right near the man, and we placed a call. Organize a sister city relationship to help you. Nothing. Lack of innovation. Pato, lack of innovation. So the people only come to the diaspora, sit on those small tables with their kingsmen, have small meeting, then they go back and tell the people back home, we met with our constituents in the US. What are you taking back? Nothing. I can give you stories upon stories with lawmakers, with cabinet ministers, naming them. One of the worst things that ever happened to Liberia, if you go to Monrovia today, or you go to the Dwazan Highway, the transmitter, the transmitter that is sitting at the Rock Church premises, that transmitter was between Israel and Lebanon. The Nigerian pastors fought to get that transmitter. They never got it. They call somewhere in Kentucky. He saw a private jet, one of his private jets. They wanted to obtain that property, Mr. Tu, to build the biggest Christian radio and television station. A former sitting senator, a former pro tem, ate the people money, threatening them that when they come to the country, they were going to go to court. Wow. They were going to jail them. I went to that church to go preach. The Reverend asked me, said, Gerald, if we pull this thing, can you go back home? I said, yes. I said, who said it? He said, Edo, what were you? Just before he died.
Oh, that was the right. That was the right
praying for him. I said, Edo, you know that the best way to change our country is to go back to where the Rock Church started from? He said, yes. Then I brought it to him. I said, you see what happened to our country? We lost an opportunity. Where our radio station are going now, today, as I speak to you, will be open in Kenya because the assistant pastor in that church is from Kenya. On so many opportunities, Mr. Tu, so many, including people who just step into government today, who are going to government today. They had those opportunities. We made those contacts, those connections. That's why sometimes I tell people, Mr. Tu, I don't play lovely-dovely with political leaders. or political parties. I don't. Because these are the things that heighten our people. Lack of innovation. We got too many loud talkers, but they are not movers, not shakers.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Breakable, you're next.
Breakable.
Yeah, thank you so much for the show. And thank you so well. I always like they like something happened to you or Mr. So making you change. So you become we are picture at the same about that, bro. Thank you for the show. But I will not call some people name because when I call them name, they say I'm talking to them. But it's only serious manner.
You talk to me. The only 2 people left. Then you say you're not calling some people name.
Yeah, because I will not call them name.
No, and I responded. So that why you won't come on?
Sometimes you have to take your Baka share in your spirit and put a picture of this in you. Now the Baka share is enter you until you don't even know what to discuss the issue. We're talking about things happening. If you want to discuss it, forget the past. You say the power not correct, that's why it came to rescue. So if the issue I will discuss it, if they say the mayor is doing things that is correct, let person and forget what other one did. Because if you other side, they may say I do nothing. If there's something that is better than they want to come in. And the men are just coming for just less than month. So you cannot judge nothing about the other parts. And the issue about Kema, no. Uncle Amos. You know, you all let them listen to your side that you all love. So sometimes when you listen to your side that you love, you take it in, anything they say, you believe it. Anything they say, you believe it. They said more than 2 persons die, or 2 persons die. Then you come out and say, people say, 1 person die. In fact, they say, if they're talking a case, they see happy as a citizen that love their country or love their people. You should even the protest they did wrong. I mean, you had to kill them. Since regime, the protest was like somebody going in the market about food. Every day, poor protest. But 1 person had never died in that protest. Less than 1 month.
People right at the party headquarters.
The protest, they go on there. The second one kill people. Do you think a good record? It's not a good record. I think by now you should be condemning it and say to the state that it's wrong. You should go and at least talk. It's not killing people in the protest. So I think that's all depends on those things. Because you listen to press conference, the press conference, they say, that I believe in, and the press will lie I saw. You don't believe I want. But the press conference. So you have to be serious. That'd be patriotic. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
I gotta say something. Hold on 1 second. You know, we all come on this network. We spend our time to come here. I am not a government employee. I don't collect paycheck. The Bwaka government has not started paying people that they were paying other people here to do Jide Hato. My brother Breakable, now I understand why.
Yeah.
I see what
he can leave nothing behind.
Hold on 1 second. This is very serious. I see why some people block you. Their intelligence is not just about being literate. Intelligence is about being able to discern before you open your mouth to say it. Who gives you the authority to judge somebody else's patriotism? And talk about you're not being patriotic, and let's be serious. You can spew whatever.
Yeah, hold on. Somebody's on. Hold on.
Thank God we got a lot of people listening, and they will just laugh at
Hello,
you.
Mr. Toa?
Yes, I can hear you. Just hold on.
What you will not do, Breakable, I'll tell you again.
Your line is really breaking on the wall. Okay.
I will tell you again over and over, Breakable, what you will not do is to ever disrespect me in the way you did earlier. Don't ever question my patriotism. Don't ever do that. I can joke, I can laugh. There are some of us, we have spent years trying to build the credibility we got and get to the level we got. If you don't got nowhere to go, don't drag me down with you. Don't ever call my name in the way you did. I want to put that on it here for you to know that. I joke around a lot, but I don't allow people to play with my reputation. I work hard for where I'm at. Don't ever do that. You stutter, you throw your tabata, you throw your trash, that's fine. Don't ever question my patriotism. Ever. You sleep set in your dream. You question my patriotism when you get up, you will call me and apologize. Because the fire that will come for you will not be easy to between myself.
And let me say something, Mr. Toh, will you just allow me? Breakable, we come here, we give everybody opportunity to say what they want to say.
Man, you're not a kid.
But you have a responsibility. And I always say things that if you don't know anything, don't speak about it. I told you, they say one person died, and you like I'm taking George in somebody's death. I came on the program and said my sympathy go out to the people. The language people want people to use in order to condemn somebody, that must be something intentional, willfully done. But you don't have the facts, you don't have the circumstances surrounding the death of the one or two person. But you want me to come up because it's under the Baka regime. I should say, oh, I condemn the action of the police or what group? No. To condemn, you must have the circumstances and the facts surrounding what happened. Maybe the school of thought you come from, that how you people behave there. I don't behave like that, and we don't behave like that on this platform. Now, let me set the record straight. Number 7, you remember the police board that shot that LPR 12-year-old boy who they put black the road had nothing to do, and the policeman shot him and killed one of your person, George Weah, and they said they were going to set us an investigation team. What happened to that investigation? Can you give me an account of it? And you want to come sit down and the call to say people killing people, and we are not talking about it. On your way there, government number 7, the LPR boy that the police officer shot, 12-year-old who had nothing to do with the demonstration. Can you tell me the outcome of that investigation on George Weah? Eh? And you call here to come make that to say, oh, we've been paid. Go and tell Prince Sherry, then they were paid. I had not been paid by the government. Those are people who are the more piece of George Weah. You go there and talk about it. Now us. Because everything you're doing now, everybody will get taken. Call this guy back. So, Broker, when you call here, you have the right. It is not your right to call here. It is not your right. It is a privilege. Let me tell you, it is not your right. It is a privilege given to you.
Thank you, Mr. Charles. Let me see if this guy will pick up. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Cole.
Yes, go ahead. You go ahead. Make your point.
Mr. Cole, how you doing?
Oh, fine. Thank God. What's on your mind?
Mr. Toh, thank you for the topic this evening. You know, the reason why when the Block Cook on the show we let it come, that's only because you can really bring the real story out. But one of the thing I on my mind tonight had to do with the with our leadership, the new leadership, Jota Barker. We've been with the party for years, since 1997 up to this time. And Jota Barker served as a vice president to Ellen for 12 years, expecting that he would be on teams whenever he comes to leadership. But the reason why you see the center or CEO or sponsor being a little bit disappointed is because the money in which the government is going is not looking correct. Don't be frank. That's our government. We preach for the government, but the government is not doing the right thing. Don't tell the government that they are not doing the right thing. There's no leader that will come into a leadership that you will take, you do away with all these people, even in a coalition. Members of the coalition, the leadership of the coalition, you do away with them. You bring in people who are opposition to you and get here to lead your government. And you don't expect success in an identical government. So if the Spoon is talking about this thing, Spoon is not saying it because to make Joseph Boakai government to look ugly, because Joseph Boakai is not leading. Somebody else is leading him. So what kind of leader you are kind of office? You know that Union Party had a leadership, regardless of whatsoever team member from the Zero Coalition. The Union Party had a leadership. You put all the leadership aside. You bring in people from the opposition to lead your team. You don't think that politics will be played against you? Knowing fully well that most ability, when Dillon and Nyongli appear on the Spoon talk, they started early on them with most ability and Mr. Comey, so that they will support Mr. Comey. Then you take Mr. Comey chief of staff and brought him getting to be a chief of officer. You expect for better thing to happen because early man getting on the use that man, he can to suppress your whole team.
Mariah,
Wait, brother Samaka. Where's Mo Ali? He said it all. Mo Ali went directly with the author of Joseph Blocker. He took away with all of this for you. We have more to say. We have more to defend. But we have more to defend. And we are giving room to the opposition. They're getting to beat up every now and then, both day and night. Thank you for the show.
Thank you. I like when you do that.
Let me ask you a question. Is Mariah working? Mariah Kula working now in the government? Because I thought she was chief of staff to Commies.
No, he talking about Graceman. He talking about Graceman.
And how to call it? And Mo Ali didn't get a job.
Mo Ali already got a job.
It must work.
How do we do our thing in our country? The Unity Party had a leadership. The Unity Party could not win an election by themselves. It was a Unity Party alliance, just like the Congress for Democratic Change could not win an election by themselves. You had a coalition. Okay, so you come to power and you are expecting everybody in political leadership of a party to be given jobs in the government. In fact, there's one of the problems that I'm having right now, and I'm gonna name it. That people who are in political leadership should not be given government jobs. We had this problem with Mayor Koji. Every time Mayor Koji spoke, we didn't know if he was speaking as mayor of the city of Monrovia or if he was speaking as the chairman of the revolutionary wing, says Sauna of the CDC, or whether he was speaking as the Secretary General. I don't want to say Secretary General, the Secretary General. Okay, we cannot have that. If the lack of Amos Twai is going to be confirmed and he's going to take over LPRC, he has to relinquish the Secretary General position of the Unity Party. We don't want to be paying the government of Liberia should not be paying partisans. If you want a job in the government, you should relinquish your party leadership. We're not saying you can be a member of the Unity Party, but you cannot be the Secretary General of the Unity Party and be the managing director at the LPRC. When you speak, who do we know is speaking? Who do we say spoke? So for the caller here, for me, as long as they're bringing in qualified Liberians, they think about people come and you kept other old people in the government, and for the opposition, you got to take them out. So what do? Do you go down to civil servants and remove everybody because not everybody voted for you? And at the end of the day, like Tewan Gongo used to say, if you form the container, if the container is properly established, everybody will take the shape of the container. Leadership starts with the head. Whatever JMD does and Jeremiah Kuhn does and the rest of the people set the stage. I don't know where people are coming from where the party is supposed to have, all the people supposed to have employment. You have other people that came along for you to win an election. And you control your party. You still got party leadership. You can run your party. Why every time parties win, all the party bosses must become government officials? Why? That's why we don't have political institutions. And that is why you see that people resigning today. And I guarantee you, before the end of the year, there will be plenty of other people leaving and becoming Unity partisans just because they want a job in the Unity Party. Not because they believe in the ideology or that they believe in the governance philosophy of the Unity Party, but that their bank accounts are getting smaller and smaller, and therefore they will become Unity partisans.
Yes, and
to replenish. Go ahead, Josh.
Let me just propound on what this is said. If you're an executive of the party, you get a job with the government, you are defrauding the Liberian people. Because the time you take to go do your secretary job at your party headquarters or in that office sitting, you are on government time. And you should not be doing that. So Amos swear, all these people should resign the post as they have been confirmed. We don't want to see Amos say, I'm the Secretary General. No. How do you do your work as Secretary General of the party, and how do you do the work of the Liberian people as Managing Director? You are using our time and money, and these are some of the things we'll be pushing. We have to change the way we do business in Liberia. It cannot continue to be business as usual. That's why they say party has a secretariat. Those are there, the party pay them who run the day-to-day affair of that party. But you cannot be in government. Then when they say you don't go to office, I gotta go to the party heaven, I gotta go do this. No. It's our time, you consume it, and we are paying you for it. It's wrong. We have to change the way we do things. And some of the people say, it's pathetic. The way we think. Who are the party executives that have not gotten job? And not everybody in the party is supposed to work for government. This is why we are talking about private sector involvement. You spoke of Moa, and Moa is Managing Director of Water and Sewer. He was the party former Secretary General, he became spokesperson of the party during the campaign. Amos was the current Secretary General of the party. He's at LPR-TV.
But not to even call you up, Josh. This is one place where CDC, by default, by mistake, did something good. Their party chairman never had a government appointment.
Yeah,
now is the chairman of a board.
Yes.
The CDC never appointed their chairman to political power.
Yeah.
Which was a good thing. What people won't say it was because they were fighting, I don't care. But that was a good government strategy. You will have your party boss remains the party boss. That was one good thing CDC did.
Yeah, it was good.
I don't think Rufus Tapper, Reverend Tapper, not Rufus Tapper, but Reverend Tapper, as the chairman of the United Party, should be a chair of the board of an autonomous agency.
No, it's not supposed to. So these are some of the things we're talking about. So people, we have to understand. And he said, you have coalition of a party that joined Joseph Barker to win the elections. He has to accommodate these people. Don't be like the CDC, that people push you across the finish line, then you leave them behind. Don't do it. Because our CDC today, they are in power because they dashed the MPP. Those are brought in, they dashed them. So you have to honor your agreement, political agreement, you have to honor it. But you get a thing off of your mind. They are beside, there are other Liberians. You know, this political thing run different ways. There are people you will not see sometimes on the forefront, but sometimes they get financial donation. There are other people who do educational work for the institution. They are not at the forefront. So all these people talking about, you don't know what was their contribution to the party. You just stand outside there. You don't know what was happening behind closed door. Do you know how people are working in the war room? Do you know how money was coming in? Can you tell me, you know the hands are putting money into the campaign? You don't know. So you want to go back and sit down and try to rethink. Samson told take your phone call. I know they find it difficult tonight again. They can't sleep.
No, I'm not taking any more calls.
So Gerald said something, and I had the same experience. My own guy from my own district, Salaye district, came here during the early government, and I took a whole week off. I was the chauffeur for that dude. I was driving him around from place to place. He was on his agricultural break. And family members were hosting him, so he was not paying for hotel. Even the government paid for hotel. I was driving around. You're not even buying me gas, whatever. I had a 40-foot container of educational material from kindergarten through the University of Liberia. We have some books for the medical school and some other stuff. We have written a grant through my nonprofit, my educational nonprofit. We have written a grant from the Department of Defense. They were paid for the shipment to Liberia. What they wanted was a duty-free clearance. And the assurance that within 48 hours, it will be clear off, the container will be clear off from the ship.
Yeah.
So I gave them that I was going to pay people to do that. My guy was here. I said, my man, you ought to do that. He said, oh, my man, I got to do the free clearance. I'm a representative. I got to do the free privilege. I said, okay, fine. I said, when you get home, I really don't care. You don't have to put my name on it. You don't have to say I gave it to you. You can take it in charity to look back and then people say you brought it for them and help your campaign. I really don't care. I just need these materials to get to Liberia because I have tried to go through University of Liberia at the time. They wanted me to pay them some money. The president, past president of University of Liberia, wanted me to pay him some money for those books to go to the University of Liberia. Mind you, I didn't go to LU, but I was trying to help him out.
Yeah.
My guy gets back to Liberia. I called that dude, Mr. So, man, where we stand at? There's my picking, you know, nothing for nothing. Well, you can't go in the soul breeze and you see the devil.
So what were they were already in Liberia?
They were still here.
They were still
But I needed to get free clearance for the things to be gone. They were out of port.
So he wants to sell that privilege now.
The man told me to pay him $2,000 to use his duty-free privileges for the materials to go to him and for him to distribute. I think I say, I'm from Lofa County. I don't think the stupid goat are dead and I killed a year, so I didn't eat some. Long story short, I was sitting one day, I was really vexed about it. We're talking about it in a group somewhere. And there was this guy, he's a Sierra Leonean. He said, "Oh man, you got those books right now?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm thinking about how I will really get rid of them." He said, "Oh, I can send them to Sierra Leone." I said, "Man, we don't have time." Sitting down right there, Mr. School, I got called Sierra Leone. 2 days later, that guy brought to me a letter from the Minister of Education and the clearance and everything, and those materials went to Sierra Leone. And I told that guy, that was Moses Scully, the one I was wanting to be a senator in the party. I told him, I said, anytime you run it can be the day by the time running against you, I will form that campaign. And I kept my promise. It was saying a Sumo Kupi that I told can never be senators in local country. Sumo Kupi is my own uncle. I said, you can never be. I will fund anybody running against you. And I still stand by that today. I said the Pope running, my hope, my spirit will come back and still run campaign against them. Because those are not people that are supposed to be in leadership.
Samson,
if we get on the story, we can't stop.
No, Samson, you don't call your company.
And so we can call it quit for the night. Go ahead.
No, I said you don't call your own, but we'll be calling the name. We don't care. You got so many family people, you got friends. Me, I got no friend. We'll call the name. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. When
first I go
they
we'll face that country.
We'll call their name.
We'll call the name. I don't care what you do, we'll call your name. Corrupt people.
Yeah, Mr. George. What's your closing?
Let me say this. Let me say thanks to the audience. And I just want to stress one thing here. When some of us here, we really don't care about who is in power. What some of us want is to see the right thing done in Liberia. So if anybody there and you're not doing the right thing, we'll call you out. My loyalty is not to anybody, it's to Liberia. Because we know what our people have been going through and continue to go through. For those who will take money to be the mouthpiece of other people, it's not some of us. It is not some of us. It is not in our DNA. I'm not going to create no platform to get it to one person because they can give me $20,000 check. No. It's not for me. I would die poor. But I would prefer maintaining my poor name. I prefer it. So let me just send a message out to some of you people. And I want to say thank you, and I hope the government should look at the case in Kidmont. It's all over Liberia. These people come, they give these concessions, they don't live up to the side of the bargaining and continue to exploit our people. And some of the lawmakers from no area connive with these people to exploit their own people. And we have to be checking these people, these lawmakers, because the concessions they are open every 5 years for review. So if these people 5 years, they are not doing the right thing, then after they have to decide either to stay or to leave. But you cannot be there and continue to suffer the people. And these people they are the beneficiary of what they're getting out of the country. So I just say, Honorable Bwaka, please, I know you love Liberia, you got passion, but shake these people around. Let it do the right thing for Liberia. And all I have to say, Sissy, I mean, Mr.
Thank you. Sissy, go ahead.
Just like we offered to the last two governments our expertise, we're offering to this government our expertise. Ours come with no expectation that we want a job. I will say again, my cartoon here, pushing here. I like it so much, I can't leave from here. What we can do is we have been blessed. And I know Mr. Toh like to, minimize his expertise a lot, but somebody like a Mr. Toh here, this is a blessing to Liberia. Now, some of us were able to come here and be able to acquire a small idea that we can be able to stay help our country with. In this country, it's not much. Yes. Okay, I'll drink it. You're sorry, let me drink my coffee they brought for me. Thank you.
Now, mom made that coffee. You got to drink that coffee before you talk.
Practicing. Practicing.
Oh, yeah. You got to drink it.
She can come and sit behind my desk here and be doing her own podcast or man say, oh, you practicing like that now. But anyways, the point I was trying to make is that in this country, there are 500 more of me, maybe 500,000 more of me and Mr. Toh. In Liberia, we don't have that. There are experts in the diaspora that don't want government job, but want to be able to support and help our government. Now is the time to make use of that. These people that keep saying, you got to be party president, you got to get a job. You have to look outside of that. There are a lot of experts, Liberian experts in these diaspora.
But say, I know you're closing. Let me expand and help me to expand on that a little bit. So say, for example, in your neck of the wood, in terms of educational system, if the Minister of Education were to call and say, I want you to put 4 or 5 group of people together with the same mindset in terms of educational system, but we want you guys to develop something that can be utilized in this country free of charge. Will you be able to do something like that? You think there are people who will be willing to do something like that?
There are many people, many. I'm just thinking as you're talking, I'm thinking I can come up with, I can spit out a name of at least 10 right now. As a matter of fact, when you came to my office that day, I needed to introduce you to a Liberian guy, Liberian fellow who is the executive director for school improvement here. And I'm just a director. He is executive director. He's Liberian. running a whole section of Minneapolis Public School. There is a guy in Virginia that was on a platform with one time focus on Liberia. He's a PhD Liberian. He's an educator in the. There are a lot I can call people right now and say, my man, oh madam, you ready for tomorrow? And people will be ready to hit the ground and get proposals and put them out and sell them out. The problem is people who surround these leaders, they have their own fears that somehow when somebody shine, then their shine never come out. And that's why I always start the conversation by saying, I don't want a job in Liberia. There will come a time, maybe as I get older, that I will want that. For now, you hear about 3-year-old is here. I'm not leaving her to go Liberia. I can't do that. That's not how I was built. So I can go for a month and help and come back. I can take a job in Liberia. But that comes back to the point. You, Mr. Toh, have been talking about this thing for a long time, over and over and over. There, Liberian experts in these diasporas that are just willing and just itching to just offload the things we have learned and just help build systems. Right? We are talking about going back and revamping KRTTR, ZRTTR, and all those teacher training programs. That's what I do here. We're talking about going back and building a system to check how our educational systems are working, how our schools are working, and to be able to understand where the failures are coming from and how do we need to connect to fund or to take money from places and go places for our system to work optimally. We can set up those systems. It is not something that I want to know by reading books. It's something that I've done over and over. So those are the things we're talking about. That we can come out and lay out teacher licensing, lay out teacher training, lay out teacher recruitment and retention, lay out administrative training, lay those things out, lay out how to bring the community along, how to get community involved in education. The police has been doing it in Liberia. They have these, they want to do this community policing. You do community education. People have to be involved with the education of their children. And if you're not bringing those people along, you're not bringing the students along, you're just doing things that we still doing back in the day when Pluto was still a planet. That is not how you run educational system. So for me, I want to close by saying we will continue to hold them accountable. We will continue to offer our services to help out where we think we can. And they don't have to take it. But by fire or by force, they will have to do good by the Liberian people. I offered that same service to the George Weah government when they first came forward. I told them I was still a teacher, so I had a 90 days off during the summer. I said I can come for 90 days and help sit down and put us culture and other things and stuff. And I will feed myself, I will transport myself, be responsible for myself for those 90 days while I'm in Liberia. I needed the government to have a skin in the game. And what I needed them to do is to pay for my transportation. I didn't care what airline they put me on. They needed to be responsible for me to get to Liberia. And I got publicly shamed. People telling me, oh, you know to pay your own way to go to Liberia. That's why we ended up with the educational system we got, right? So we stay offering it. One of the things I hope the Bwaka administration starts to look at, because the E in arrest is for education, is Mr. Toll and Pat George. Every electoral district in Liberia should have a public high school.
Of course.
Every electoral district, Mr. Toll, should have a public high. How difficult is that? You have lawmakers sitting, making laws, and they don't have a high school in their districts. A public high school. I'm thinking about from Balatoa all the way through Salaye. There's a whole electoral district out there. Until you get to Zozo, there's now one public high school. People have to leave their farms and leave their homes and villages to go to other towns and live there to go to school, thereby removing them off the farms, thereby reducing the output of the agricultural output of those farms. And people don't see that, but we have lawmakers that came from Salaye district that they're still there. And they don't see that as an issue. And I'm imagining Mr. Toll, you smiling because you're thinking about Grand Juliet right now and thinking which electoral district I come from. Do we even have a public high school? How do we say education is a right? And we enshrine that in Article 6 of our Constitution. And we don't at minimum have a high school in each electoral district. That is a shame. And I'm hoping the Bwaka government will take that into account, because the E in their arrest is for education, and would not let them throw that on the side. By fire, by force, it will face our country.
And Cecil, let me say this.
Thank you.
Every electoral district supposed to have at least one high school, one clinic, at least if it's 10 or 15 burial clinics, every electoral district. So these people who will not sit down here, who will continue to talk, they will get tired with us, some of us. Because these things must happen. How the hell someone arrive $80,000 car? And let me say this. This thing, you don't need cement. You can use the clay to build a decent high school or a clinic, just a clay. The interwoven black. This thing they produce in Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana. Why is it that we must go take all that sand? You don't need it. You don't need it. The clay, you can build any structure. It will cut down cost a whole lot, even because I was doing some research. If you bring 25 bedroom, you might pay $50,000 because you're not using, you hardly use cement. Only the clay. That clay breaks. And they tell you it's bulletproof. Earthquake cannot do nothing to it. The interwoven black. That's clay.
Okay.
Why? So we have the strategies in every district must have a high school and a clinic.
So let me ask you one question, Pajo. I want to start fire before I go. You saw your chairman asset declaration. What kind of Lexus you driving at $200,000 over?
Who now?
Your chairman ability.
No, you don't build that money. So,
but you tell all the year of the $200,000 Lexus, what you getting there, bro? What you value of $200,000?
Look,
Okay,
The
guys.
country.
Thank you,
But
Mr. Josh.
we have to continue this something too. We're not
Yeah.
relent. Education.
Oh, we will. We will.
Chairman, one for other leader. Chairman Benedict
No,
will bring others.
no. Look, all the guys got to hold themselves responsible. Believe that he been a businessman. He an oil guy.
My only hope here, say, Mr. George, my only hope is that President Weah will not do President Baka will not do what Weah did. I hope that he will be able to reshuffle. Maybe after the first year or so, all the people that have been crying for a job, and if they are not producing, kick them out or put them somewhere else and bring somebody new, fresh faces in there. I think the second round most likely will be a productive one, because those that are anxious right now, I think that they're there to eat, and those that are waiting, their stomach already full, so they will come later. But I think when they come, they will put Liberia first. I hope.
I think round 2, Emon George will be the
No.
The
Let me say this.
I call it town. I mean SKT Tanchi, and I only appointment.
Yeah. Let me say this. The way I see Honorable Boakai, he's someone who is consistent and persistent, because I have followed few of his interview. He continues to say the same thing over and over. So many people will be surprised at that man. Some of the decisions you will take one day, some people will be shaking their head.
He will embarrass some of them.
And someone told me, they say in the cabinet meeting, he told some people, he said, if any of caught stealing, I will fire you, and y'all pay that money, y'all go to jail. I personally say he told them, and he continued to remind them. Because all those people that are appointed, the meeting they're having is to see the failure to try to acquaint himself with someone, because he don't know some of those people really, based on recommendation thing. So the cabinet meeting now, he's trying to look at those people now. But we hope we will continue to push for Liberia.
All right, Mr. Josh, thank you. Say thank you, guys. We appreciate it. Again, folks, Samson to Liberia Public Radio. I want to thank all of you again tonight. Those of you that was writing, or even those that call in, thank you very much. We appreciate it. We'll be back here again with Mr. So tomorrow. And then we will do more of the Tabata. Please, let's continue to pray for the people of Cape Mount County, and let us continue to pray for one another as well. Our God, we know, God is real, and He can help. He's done in many, many lives. All you need to do is to trust and have faith in Him. This is Samson to Liberia Public Radio. We can say to our God again tonight, God, please take complete control of what is happening in Cape Mount County. Bring peace to the lives of those people that are suffering tonight. Amen. Okay, folks, Samson to Liberia Public Radio. I want to say thank you very much for following us again tonight. We'll be back here again tomorrow with Mr. Soul. Many of you that are out here, thank you watching. Thank you. We appreciate all of the comments and the stars. Thank you very much. And we'll say good night to all of you. It's been a wonderful, wonderful time. Stay safe out there. Samson to. Good night, folks.
Le père votre vignon. Cadeau. Baïmaoa. Ablenyoa. Enchantoulope Ablenyoa. Moi na kai kai. Fond de siate de sebi. Zouzou. Abre I don't want to see you so I beg your oh, shut up, where I take you. I beg your bed, no matter where I take you. I beg your hotel, doesn't know where I take you. I beg my to come here where I take you. I beg your where I take you. You can go the where I take you. Oh, Danny Dan. Yes, I see the wow. And the wow, where are the wow? I mean, I must have been here where are the wow. Not another